Viewer discretion advised. Refrain from watching if you're short-tempered or get offended or annoyed easily, or if you're under the age of 18. Also, don't watch if you're touchy on the following subjects, such as mental health, suicide, firearms, veterans, dark humor, swearing, violence, war, small parts of political and world events. The host, co-hosts, and guests are not professionals, so anything mental or physical health related topics mentioned on Asylum Arms, take with a grain of salt and contact your doctor or therapist for advice or questions on those subjects.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 36 of Asylum Arms. Today, for our guest today, we have Twiks, his part 2. So, and also we have Katarian finally back as a guest, co-host. How was your day, Twiks?
Long day. I just got a couple hours of a nap in a little bit ago, but I had been up for the last 36 hours otherwise.
That sucks.
And yeah, I'm just out of whack a little bit. But I'm happy to be back.
That's good. Okay, how's your day? You haven't been down there in a while.
I've been doing shit, man. Been working. I missed every single fucking episode. Well, I haven't really missed the episodes because I've been chatting.
You've been in them during work.
I haven't been able to.
Yeah, you haven't been participating as a co-host. Yeah. As you work H2.
As far as today goes, we played some games with the kids and the wife, and came up here and started doing this.
Wait, could Twitch hear me yesterday? Okay. Wait, my voice wasn't hearing at all?
No, I mean I could hear you, but it was like there's no way we would understand what you were saying.
I can't fix that. That's the thing because the mic's at full volume. Fuck.
What about
it's
on
it's on full volume. Everything.
Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like a one-sided conversation.
Was that last night?
Well, Pool was talking most of the time.
True.
So I could hear him just fine, and I could hear Whiskey just fine. So I mean, I could hear, but I just couldn't hear you.
You know what?
I could tell you were saying something. Like I could hear like a little bits and pieces there, but I couldn't tell what you were saying.
Yeah, that's not good.
It was more like little blips and shit of what you like trying to say something.
That's not good.
I tried to say it in chat, but nobody was listening.
I'm trying to see if I can fix it or not right now while we're here. But I think I've done it.
I don't know if it's a thing in OBS or not, but you should be able to fix it.
I mean, that's the thing. The volume's right maxed out.
He says he can hear you
now.
That's
all right,
I was saying.
So I've changed something. Okay, cool. You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you on stream. Yeah.
All right, cool. We don't need to fix anything else then.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you for shit last night though.
All right, cool. Glad that's figured out. All right. So Twiks, what have you been doing since we've last had you on the podcast?
Get up, go to work for 10 hours, come home, have a bite to eat. You know, hang out on the computer for an hour or two, go to bed and do it again the next day.
All right, that's fair.
10-hour days at work make you just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, everything just kind of blends together and it's just lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I've done 10 to 16-hour shifts. They suck.
Yeah, not a fan. It's not.
No.
It's not a good time.
I don't mind the 10-hour days because you get the 3 days off. I hate my 10-hour days because I wake up just enough time to go to work. So I get them over here, and then I sit for 10 hours, go get something to eat, watch a little bit of TV, go to bed. Because I have no other time to do anything else.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's dog shit.
All right, so Kay, you weren't here on his episode last time. So were you?
Yeah, it was.
Were you on this episode or just in the chat?
No, I was in chat.
Well, do you have any questions for him at all?
No, I really don't. I mean, because I was there with for the whole time, so I pretty much heard everything.
All right.
And I was pretty sure. Like, I think you're the one that I think I said that I would have enjoyed or appreciated a leadership Like you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because my leadership was ass.
Yeah.
My NCOs were okay, but my higher ups, my captain, my squadron commander and stuff like that, they were shit. I hated them. I had one NCO that was ass. He was this dude was a fucking shitbag. He'd been in for like a long time, and he was only like an E5. He'd been in for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, and his uniform was always looked like shit. He just carried himself like shit. And I'm like, this guy's in charge of me? Fucking kidding me? Like, he looks like he just pulled his fucking uniform out of a laundry bag and threw it on. And this was back in my day where you had to like pressure shit. Like all your uniforms had to be ironed and the fucking crease on your sleeves and your pants and shit. I know they don't do that anymore because of the way their clothes are made now. But he was never ironed, never. And he just literally looked around, I like walked around like a laundry bag. It was horrible.
Jesus.
And he always made decisions for me that didn't help me. It actually hindered me moving forward. That's why I didn't get to stay in as long as I wanted to. And then, of course, my base commander, my squadron commander was just fuck that bitch. She was trash. She was absolute trash. Yeah, she was absolute trash. It was her first command, so she had something to prove. Yeah, it was Major Lieutenant Colonel Mills.
We're gonna name drop now. Okay.
It's been long enough.
I don't give a fuck. I've been out for a while, so she's
you got out in like 96, right? Somewhere around there. 99.
99. Wow. I got it 99. And yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Mills. She was a major while I was in, but shortly made Lieutenant Colonel afterwards. And it was her first command, so she had something to prove. She had to. I was made an example. Because I was the first one that went up because in the Air Force at that time you had to pass your CDCs, like basically high school courses. You had to pass those, and if you didn't pass those, they kicked you out. And I was the first one under her command that had the option, quote unquote, of going in front of her to try to stay in.
Okay.
And so she made an example of it. So people not to fuck with her. And so that ended my career.
Yeah, they told him he too broken.
Yeah, they were like, well, since you can't pass your, I was like, and I looked at her and I was like, because I asked them, because we had this big meeting and I had my senior NCOs, I had my commanding officer, and then I had my squadron commander. And then she asked me, she's like, do you have anything to say for yourself? And I asked permission to speak freely. And of course she's like, okay, whatever. I was like, you mean to tell me that's because I can't pass a high school test, I can't fight for my country? Like, I can't go overseas. I can't deploy. I can't go overseas and fight for what I believe in. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, that's dumb shit.
That's dumb shit.
I'm like, I was dumbfounded. I was just like, you can't be serious. I was like, a fucking Scantron test is between me staying in the military and me getting out.
That's
not the fact that I performed my job better than the other E3s that were there. I was getting attaboys from the senior NCOs that were there all the time for staying late or coming in early or skipping lunches to get shit done. But no.
Yeah, and I mean, for the record, for everyone to know how I feel, it's exactly how I feel about the drinking age. If you're in the military, I think it is the biggest crock of shit that Uncle Sam can ask you to go put your life on the line, but you can't have a goddamn beer.
Can't have a beer. That was my argument back in.
Not okay.
Back when I was
not okay to me.
No, it's not.
Because when I was at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, you could. There was a bar on the base. You could drink at 18.
Hell yes.
It had to be 18. So you could drink at 18. So I was getting fucked up. 18 years old.
Having said that, I will put in the caveat that there are some that weren't exactly responsible with their alcohol. So
Yeah,
I get it.
I wasn't. I woke up in the desert by myself of Arizona.
I was ass naked, face down, and I had a lot of reflection to do.
I went out there with some friends. They went back to the barracks. I was out there by myself. I woke up with the sun beating down on me. And I was like,
I didn't go out there alone, but I woke up alone.
I didn't go. I woke up alone with sand in places you didn't know existed.
Sand in places I still can't reach today.
Yeah.
When I worked the sandblast booth, I know how that feels. When I worked the sandblast booth, that shit gets everywhere.
Oh yeah. But yeah, when and then I reclassed from there and went to Lackland Air Force Base. Went back to Lackland. And a buddy of mine from Arizona, who had found out he had gotten diabetes in Arizona, they sent him back to Lackland to the big Air Force hospital. So he comes knocking on my door one day, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" The last I saw him, he was in Arizona, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they got me at the big hospital here, but I'm staying in town at the Holiday Inn." And I was like, "We can go down there and drink." And I was like, "Dude, we're only like 18." He's like, "Yeah, the guy at the bar serves me with my military ID." So we went and got fucked up at the Holiday Inn.
Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that was back in the day, that was what we did. Drank. I mean,
fair.
I mean, that was what there was to do. Like, if you weren't doing drills, you weren't doing your AIT, if you weren't doing shit else, go into town and spend money. Or
this is when you learn how old K is.
Yeah. We didn't have shit to do. Like, we definitely didn't have like gaming teams and shit like that, like esports and shit like that. That shit wasn't a thing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Computers are barely a thing.
Yeah.
Facts.
These are facts.
I still remember we all had the Y2K OK sticker on the fucking monitor. Because we had to make sure that they were 2000 compliant.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That shit was
like, not dating myself here at all, but
no, not at all.
No. I still have my BDUs in a fucking tote somewhere.
Yeah. Do you still have a brick of a phone?
No, I had a car phone.
Oh wow.
At one time, I had the bag phone.
Yeah.
I had the bag phone. Yeah, I had the bag phone. I thought that was hot shit too.
Phone? I didn't even know that was the thing, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, it was a big bag, had a giant.
Yeah, imagine a giant like Indiana Jones satchel. Just pull a corded phone out of
satchel. It had a dial. It had the number pad on the back, and you plugged it into your cigarette lighter, and you dialed it, and then that's how you could talk on the phone. And you could just take it out of your car in the battery pack. I mean, I used to carry that shit around, be like, answer the phone and like the chow hall, be like, "What's up?"
How to take a fanny bag to the new level? Just put a giant ass phone in it.
Oh man, it was. I thought I was the shit back then, man. That was high technology, and it clicked in too. Like it clicked in like a magnet, like click, and you had to pull it off the little hanger thing.
Wow, now you don't even need cords.
I think it's
cool, man.
Yeah, we're talking about a brick of a phone. I was thinking of those Nokia phones that are just indestructible.
Oh yeah, the Nokia.
So I have one of those too. Yeah, that was my brother's first phone, and I remember very vividly one time that we tested that theory out. Right, now mind you, dumb kids, obviously. He just takes this thing and he hucks it up in the air. He's like, "Let's see what happens." It's still fine. It's still fine.
Yeah.
It's like there's no fucking way.
Oh, those things were indestructible, man. Those things were fucking crazy. I think we all had them too. We all played Snake.
Oh God. Yep. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we all played Snake because we all said like this, that little tiny ass fucking green screen. Just.
I can't relate.
And now we have these fucking things.
Now I have a tablet That barely fits in my pocket.
Yeah.
You drag this thing around. If you leave your house without this, you're like, fuck. Oh, gotta turn around. I gotta go get my phone. Paul says they ran over one of the D7 dozers. They do break. But it takes a dozer to do it.
But apparently it takes a dozer to do it.
Don't worry, they break. We just had to run over a bulldozer. It's okay.
Right, you run over it with a D7 dozer, and then it's just like, a corner of the number pad lifted up.
Yeah. Does anybody remember the Vader phones?
Vader phone.
The fuck's a Vader phone?
It was an old flip phone. It was like really small. It was about this big.
I gotta Google this thing.
Old flip phone.
Small ass flip phone.
I think it was called the Vader phone. Oh yeah, the vintage Motorola V 3620 Vader cell phone.
I love the word vintage on that.
Well, it's just old, dude. It's old as fuck, man. It's early 2000s, late 90s.
At least I can say I was born in the early 2000s.
Yeah, those were the shit because they were super small. And that's when all the cell phones were getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get bigger and bigger.
Like cell phones were like, they were huge. Like you had the old 80s phone with the big giant actual brick.
With an antenna,
and then they got down to the Vader phone with
39 inches.
Yeah. Telescopic antenna. And then they got all the way down to the Vader phone, which is super small. It's only about that big. And now we're walking around with fucking little tablets.
And every year they only get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
And then we also need 20 different cameras on one phone as well.
Oh yeah, I think my Samsung has
mine has
5
4
now. Like there's 5.
Mine's got 4 of the fuckers. Technically,
my 4 Pro Max has 3.
It's like
5 though.
I'm looking at it going, I don't even take pictures now.
If you want to talk about 5, the newest Apple phone has like fucking 8 of the fuckers.
Jesus.
Overkill. And they all do like different shit too. It's like it's like you could get 4K in widescreen with a macro lens.
Can we just make make new lens technology where we can combine them all into like this one fancy camera?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Paul, you're right. You could definitely beat to death like a big grizzly bear or polar bear with those old Motorola bricks. It was grabbed by the antenna and it was a fucking warhammer.
Yeah. That was a weapon.
100%.
I can't say
I knew a guy had one of those, but he had on base.
I can't say it.
I used to see him walking. I didn't know the guy, but I saw him with it one day. He was like walking on the road or something like that, and I was like, "Really, my guy?"
I can say I've seen this brick of a phone as my grandmother still owns her old one.
Oh wow,
they're worth. I think they're worth some money now.
Oh, I bet.
If you have one of those old
if you have one in good condition that still works, I bet they're worth a fortune. Because they're definitely an antique radar, considering PS1 just became an antique. They're definitely on the antique radar.
Oh man, and my girlfriend had the Motorola flip phone, the one that was like the same size as the brick, only the handset, like the head, the mouse.
Telling me we had these ones or this brick with it, just flip it open.
Yeah, it was. She had that one.
Yeah, it had like a little, basically like a little panel in front of it. It unfolded, right?
Yeah, the earpiece was like static, and then the little panel. Yeah, and then it had still had that.
Still had a 2-foot antenna that goes. You're on the phone, and someone asks, someone calls you from behind. You whip around and you turn around. What was that?
Yeah, you whip around, poke someone in the face. With
damn it!
Oh, sorry, I poked your eye out, sir.
Right.
Trying to see if I can find the bag phone that I had. That shit was.
When you said a bag phone, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, there it is.
That was another weapon.
That's what it's called. It's called
another
a bag
weapon.
phone.
You could just take that thing. Take someone's head clean off.
Here's one. The Motorola bag phone.
Oh my!
Is there a brick in there too?
It was hot. It had a giant battery in it. It's like this.
So about the size of a car battery?
It was like probably 8 D-cell batteries, like wired together.
But
It
this
was
seems smart.
it was awesome, dude. It was like
Forget
that
sledgehammers.
was
Use your
good technology
phone.
back in the day.
Yeah, and that was yeah, exactly. Forget a sledgehammer. Just hold on, I got this, guys.
What's funny is that it used a normal house phone cord. Like it was the same cord as the house phone. It's just it connected to the receiver, which is if you could get one of those like 10-foot cords that would just stretch, you'd like sit the phone in the car and just be outside on a picnic table chatting.
And I mean, at the time, that was peak technology.
That was high tech shit back then.
I mean, back when computers first came out,
You
there
gotta-
were these massive giant ass fuckers, and that was peak technology. Now,
Shit, we had the old fucking like the old IBM fuckers with the clicky clack keys on it.
Yeah.
On the base. The fucking stupid ass green fucking lettering and shit. And then we like some of us had like the Windows 98. And then we could play solitaire and pinball.
So the PC that my brother and I had for a very long time. And I mean, this was, back on dial-up days. I still have that computer. It's up in it's up in a closet upstairs. And I turned it on to see if it worked, right? Because I took it out of my parents' house. I was getting some of my stuff, and I was like, yeah, I can see if I can figure something out with this. And I turned it on. Windows Vista. And I was like, oh my.
Jesus.
that's a little old.
This hasn't been on in a minute. That's
Still took it 20
Yeah,
minutes to
exactly.
boot up.
And now we're on
See,
Windows 11.
right.
See, we had I think my computer that I had on base was still Windows 95. They hadn't upgraded mine to Windows 98 yet. But everything we did was in this fucking DOS prompt when we're checking like inventory and stuff because it didn't check just our warehouse, it would check Langley as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we would check because since we work with the B1 and we were with all the parts and stuff like that, it always checked like all the bases, but Langley was like our hub. So it would check all that shit, check Langley, and then we could see where the part was or if we had one in stock because the maintenance crew is always calling. It's like we need this, we need this, we need this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just go get it off the fucking bird that's on 100 row that's cannibalized already. Missing a fucking window, it's missing a wing, it's missing a tire. Like it has like 4 out of like 20 panels in it,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we could go do that. And like, yeah, you could. Leave me alone. Stop fucking with me.
Jesus Christ. Why did Windows decide to go from 90s to single digits?
Windows has never really been like Microsoft never really went to like in consecutive order. Like they did like it was like Windows 3 something like Windows 3.1 and then it went from 3.1 to Windows 95 and then Windows 95 went to 98.
I'll be right back.
And then you had ME, NT, Windows I think Millennium or something like that, which were all shit. And then XP. And then went to Vista, which was supposed to be Windows 7, and then 7, 10, and now 11. Just, they've been all over the place with all of their fucking operating systems, which doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't make the program.
My response to a lot of that is just, I mean, almost anything nowadays is like, I don't know, I'm not a fucking doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It actually gets me by.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
See, exactly. You get it.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. But I've always, I'm not a big fan of Windows operating systems. Like I use Windows 11 now, but it's easier to run Windows than it is to run Linux. And that's the only reason I run Windows. if I had my preference, I'd be running Ubuntu on everything. Faster, it's sleeker, it's zero viruses ever. And if you do get them, all you do is just reload the program, get rid of them.
Have you ever tried turning it off and on again? Uninstall, reinstall.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
That's basically what my job consists of.
Checks out.
This thing is broken. Okay. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Oh, it's working now. Cool. Don't call me no more. First people I deal with, I have to tell people how to unplug something. And, you know, most of the computers and shit have multiple plugs. And I'll be like, okay, I need you to unplug this cable. It's right here, down near the floor, ankle high on the back, in the corner. Unplug just that cable. They unplug the computer. Like, where's the plug for the computer? Oh, it's up behind the computer. Yeah, no, that's not exactly where I told you, was it? I said down near the floor, ankle high, in the corner, on the back. Still unplugged the wrong thing. Listening skills are...
Sometimes you can have your hand held through something and still just astronomically fuck it up. I don't know.
I've had people tell me flat out, because I'll give them the instructions on how to do something. Okay, just read through this and you're good. Just read through it, word for word, and you're good. Can you read it to me? No. Just read through it. Well, I don't really understand it. Just fucking read through it. It's like you're not even trying at this point.
What are we reading through?
Just shit at work. People trying to be stupid.
A little bit of laziness. Just, can you do it for me? No, I can't.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Why would we do that?
You see, you are also a grown-ass adult. You can read, right? You can, right? Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
They call us for anything and everything. They really do.
Reminds me when I was used to be in management and retail, where the guests would just be like, we'll just ask the stupidest things like, what price is this? Why did you look at the price tag of the item that you just picked up?
So what does it say on it?
Like, there's one time the customer literally picked up things that were on sale, and the price tag was on top of the product. Like, it was on the product. It's like,
yeah. But I worked retail, which is one of the reasons I'll never work retail again, is because customers are retarded.
mm-hmm.
I've had them pick up things, ask me what the price was, and I pick up the item, I point to it, I look at the price tag, and then I point at it, and I show it to them, and then I just give it back to them without saying anything. Oh, I didn't see that.
Did you look for it though?
Did you
look?
Well, the funniest thing is,
funniest
thing is when to see I worked at a gas station. The funniest thing is when they get the wrong pump wrong for the wrong side, and you see them do the whole turn around just to go to the wrong pump again. And I've seen and they're the most I've seen is this one guy did it 6 fucking times before he actually got to the right side. I'm just there like,
it's one of my favorite things to see in a gas station.
I'm like, sir, can you drive legally?
I pay at the pump. I put my card in. I don't like dealing with people. Weird, right? But when I go inside, if I'm gonna get a snack or something, right, and I'm waiting in line, there's a dude up at the counter that does this one, right, where he's like peeking out the window, getting different angles, to see the pump. It cracks me up every time. Just like getting in a weird stance. Is that 12?
Number?
I think is it that white Silverado? That's 6, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that 12? We don't have 12.
It's like we only have 6.
I've had one person. Yeah, we had at a gas station I worked at. We had 8 pumps, and some guy was like, pump 22. I'm like, where do you see 22 fucking pumps? Where?
That's when you just pocket the money with them.
Like, where do you see these 20-something pumps? Because I do not.
You see,
And
and
then
it's always like a God, I swear every time one of the gas stations is closest to me, it's always like a 16, 18-year-old girl that has been there for 3 days. And they have to be the nicest human being that's ever existed, or they're gonna get like screamed at by some Karen. It's like, is it the like that one? That
um,
give me
yeah.
the number
That
before you
one?
come in, maybe. I don't know.
The most annoying,
Just a
the
thought.
That one?
the most annoying
Oh.
thing was cigarettes. The
That
most
one.
annoying thing was with cigarettes though was when they was like they just point like I want that one. I'm like, ma'am, you be more specific. We have over 100 different kinds of cigarettes. You need to be a lot more specific. And they just like, I want marbles. Ma'am, there's like 20 different kinds of marbles. And like, well, you should know which one I want. So I handed her Marble Reds. And she's like, no, I wanted the Marble Red label. Well, that's not specific at all.
Had the ones in the black label, the strongest ones you can get. Here, just
That's
have this
another
one.
I feel like I should get into stand-up with my observational comedy. I swear to God. I was about to go into a bit on how, when I hear someone ask for a certain like specific pack of cigarettes or like a can of chaw, it sounds like you're at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, sometimes yeah.
With a 12-syllable name in what world? Why? Why is this like this?
Yeah. I worked at a gas station. I worked at a place called QT, and their registers don't tell you how much change to give back. So you got to calculate that shit in your head.
That reminds me of the day of
Fuck.
County Market. I used to work at a grocery store where you had to calculate
Bro.
most things.
Could you imagine standing there and like, I was pretty quick with it because I worked at a register when I was like 16. And we had to do that shit anyway. So I was already used to doing that. So it wasn't a big deal for me. But imagine standing there with somebody that doesn't know how to do that. And they're like this. They're like,
Hold on.
they're holding the people's money. And they're like,
Let me get out my abacus. Hold on.
Yeah.
I've
just
gotten
like,
really good at counting money.
Oh
in retail.
no.
it's math.
From working in retail, I've gotten really good at counting with money. Since I had to count out the safes and everything. I'm pretty good.
Just hate people, man. I just hate people. Like, I don't leave the house.
And now when I look at retail, I guess now places have these fancy ass scales that where you can just put the bills and you can put the change on this scale and it calculates it all by how much it weighs.
Yeah, that's how the people the people that I do the cash office, for the stores I work for. That's how they do it. They just weigh the money. It counts it. It puts the money in the computer for you. It calculated how much it is by the weight. And if that scale goes bad,
If the scale goes bad,
how do I count the money?
Just ask me how you count money. 2.
I just can see so it was like, how do I count money? Just like, all right, just grabs her hands. See, this is a bill. 1, 2. This is a 20, by the way. So this is $20.
My favorite one is the my safe is over. Can you tell me why? No, I can't. Well, why not? Because I'm not counting your money.
Yeah.
No, I can't because fuck you.
And then they're like, well, could you look? So I look. I don't see anything wrong. Well, why is it over? I don't know. This is not an IT issue. This is a counting money issue. It's not a technical issue. You didn't break anything.
All accounting, you have money issues. I don't know. Even though I don't think accounting wants their shit either, though.
How do you have a job? How do you put your shoes on?
Yeah. Blows my mind.
No, retail made me.
You just work.
Retail really
Velcro,
made
huh?
me hate people more. It really made me hate.
Yeah,
I will go back. Like, I would have to have a job. Like I would have to have. Like,
I'm getting ready to go back to retail.
I would be in dire need of money.
Unfortunately, I'm getting ready to go back because I'm struggling to find a job. So I'm about to get back into retail.
Go to Staples. Go to Staples. They'll hire you.
Well, this closest Staples is like an hour away though.
still hiring.
Yeah, that's easy for you to say. I don't have a license.
Oh yeah, you don't
It's
have a
easy for
license.
you to.
Forgot about that. Why don't you have a license?
Because fuck driving test. I've tried. I failed 2 times, and then now with COVID, it's really hard to get a test.
I thought this shit was
Oh
like,
no!
now.
When you tried to apply for an appointment, they're completely booked out, and then when you looked at the closest date that's booked, it goes all the way to like next year. So he has to wait for someone. You basically so he has to look at the website every day and wait for someone to cancel their test to even get an opening. And at that point, there's like 100 people trying to get the opening at the same time as you.
Shit, man, I'd go to a different state and just find somebody in a different state to get your address. Go to their
It's
state.
fucking stupid.
Get your driver's license there.
And then the reason why he's also so behind is because ever since COVID they fired a lot of the DMV people. They let go a lot of the DMV people. It's like, it's okay. We can have less people even.
They weren't doing nothing anyway. Have you ever been to the DMV?
This, but they're saying it's okay. We can let. Oh, hold on.
You got one asshole working over here.
It's okay. We can let a few of these guys go. I'm like, oh, when licensing has not been a thing for the past like 2 years because of a pandemic, let's just go fire a bunch of people before we reopen.
Yeah. It's not like they was doing anything anyway. Last time I went to the DMV, I had like one asshole over here working, and then the rest of them were in the back talking.
And then
there's 50 fucking people
my last
here.
driver's test, the reason why I failed is because the instructor was fucking stupid. The instructor literally, we were driving, and the instructor yelled at me to stop. She screamed stop because she thought a car was going to hit us. Turns out the car wasn't going to hit us. But she, and it turns out the car was nowhere close to hitting us. So that was stupid. But she yelled stop, and she marked my points down saying that was a bad stop. I'm like, you told me to stop. You told me you screamed stop, so I slammed on the brakes, and it was by a stop sign. It was right past a stop sign. So, and then she's like, well, you stopped in the middle of the intersection. That was a bad stop. You slammed on your brakes too hard. I'm like, this is not part of the test. So she dotted me on all those points, and yeah, I didn't pass because of that.
I almost failed my driver's test because the guy said we were driving on the highway in Dallas, Texas. And my instructor said, if this car passes you, you fail. And that car was doing like 90.
So, if this illegal car passes you, you fail.
Yeah. Because in Texas, you have to go with flow of traffic. And if all the flow of traffic is doing 90 miles an hour and you're going slower than them, you're a traffic hazard. You'll get a ticket.
So, yeah, I've decided, a few of my friends told me to go up to, a few of my friends have told me to go out to Duluth for our test because apparently it's really easy to pass in Duluth. So it's a 2-hour drive, but it'll be worth it if I can get my license.
Yeah. I always go to a different like county here because sometimes they're like the big counties are always clogged up. I always go to like the smallest one on like a Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's nobody in there. They say like the worst times to go like on a Monday, a Friday, and a Wednesday.
Welcome to government buildings.
Those are the worst days to go.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, you could go into a DMV, wait, 35 minutes to talk to somebody, and then they say like, "Did you fill out the?" I can't even make up a designation for the form. Did you fill out your X240? No. What is that? I'm gonna need you to go get that, fill that out, and get back in line.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles. Before we do this again, is there anything else that I'll need besides that? just checking. Is there anything else? Sir, go for hey, okay, yeah, sure. Go all the way through. Another 40 minutes. I see you have your X240. Did you get mother?
No, I didn't grab shit else. You know why? Because that asshole said I didn't have to.
Right.
Yeah. She told me this is all I needed. Well,
yeah, because ever since
I don't know why she would have told you that. That's not correct. Then why do you pay her to be here?
Take it up with
him.
Take it up
It
with
could
her.
be him.
Here's my
My
shit.
hypothetical. Sorry, everyone. Could be a dude that fucked up too.
True.
Probably was anyway.
Probably was. It's probably some dude that entitled.
So
What an asshole.
stupid. Oh, but no.
I'll see that video of that fucking Starbucks worker bitching about having to work 8 hours a day on a Saturday or some shit.
Wait, she's bitching about that?
A dude. There was a dude
Yeah, there was a
crying in the
video.
back room talking about his long days.
Oh, crying. He had to work 8 hours. He was like, "This is
No,
not fair."
not-
They got you
I don't even
working
think
8 hours. I'm like,
this one might have been like part-time. Like, I'm a college student. I'm already
yeah.
I don't want
a
to hear that
4-hour
shit.
shift is too much for you?
I don't want to hear
Four?
that shit. I went to I
Dude, wanna have a part-time
I
job.
would go to high school. I would go to the school and then I'll walk 3 miles to go to work and then I do an 8-hour shift and then I would go home. Like
Right.
I was gone for like 20 hours when I was in high school. So I don't want to hear the shit 4 hours is too much for them.
I don't even think they were in school. I think they were just like, they were just bitching because they had to work a full day or some shit. I was just like, why are you
It's like
bitching?
be happy, just don't get told to work.
You could not have a
So
job.
hard.
It's so hard. I have to be here all
mean,
Bad
day.
thing is a 4-hour shit doesn't really give you jack shit in this society.
I mean, this is also coming from someone whose
But they
entire
were-
family has been in and around the realm of, let's say, law enforcement and corrections,
Yeah,
where
Also, long hours are the norm.
12s and 16s are normal.
mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
regular.
They're like, oh, a 10-hour day? Fuck yeah, easy day.
Oh wait, I only work 4 10s. Yeah. When can
Yeah.
I start?
Oh, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it?
Yeah, I saw that video and I was just like, oh my god, we're doomed.
Look around.
So doomed.
I like 8-hour shifts because they are short in my eyes. Because I did used to do like 16 hours, 20 hours when I was management. So I'm like when I get a job that's 8-hour shifts. I'm like, fuck yeah, I don't give a shit.
I just like the 3 days off of the 10-hour
True.
days. I mean,
And it's only
honestly.
2 hours more. So when you really think about it, it's not that much of a difference.
Yeah. I mean, and plus, like, when I was working morning shifts, when I was working from like, it's normally supposed to be like, 6 to 5. I was only working 6 to 4 because I was skipping lunches.
There you go.
Because I would just be like, can I skip lunch? And like, yeah, okay. I would just skip lunch and just work straight through, get my 2 breaks, be
I'll be
done.
honest.
Because I just
I
eat on the
usually
phones.
skip lunch just because of the
So-
fact I didn't eat at work. Even though I worked retail, I didn't really eat at work, so I just skipped lunch. I was like, I can eat at the register. I can
Yeah.
eat during my stocking. I can eat while I'm working. It doesn't really matter.
That's what I did. I just ate while I was on the phones. But right now, I'm the shift I'm working now is ass because it's like 11 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, and it's all fucking day. That's why I hate it because it really takes up, like, I don't have time to play games. I don't have time to be
Don't
around
time
my
to be on
friends.
this amazing
I don't have
podcast.
time to hang out. I can't be on the podcast. I don't have time to hang out with family. Like, I don't have time to do shit.
That's
except
why
work.
I specifically, when we said 2 days a week, that's why I specifically put it on when your days off because I know you wanted to be on the podcast more.
Yeah, I wanted to be here. That's one of the things I tried to get away from working the 10-hour shift or closing shift because I was like I have a responsibility on Saturday nights that I have to be, and I've obligated myself to, and they were like, well, job. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Right.
My
yeah,
bad. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I like that paycheck that comes in every 2 weeks. So
I guess I have to
No.
put up with this.
Right. I mean, my first job when I got out was at a Walmart distribution center. I was unloading trucks. I had 3 12s, and then I had 4 days off. I worked Saturday, Sunday,
That's
Monday,
fucking
12,
nice.
and Tuesday to Friday off.
That's fucking nice. I won't
I
lie.
mean,
That's
that
nice.
Never made the
Oh.
plans on the weekends, but during the week, when, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't care who knows it. Ugh. I don't have a lot of friends, but the ones that I did have would be complaining about their work day, and I'm like, yeah, I was laying on the couch watching movies today. Sorry to hear about it, bro.
No, I won't lie. That would be a nice
Sorry,
ass shift.
sorry to hear about your work day.
It sounds so shitty while I'm kicked back. Like, I'm literally laying on the couch just staring at
Yeah.
my phone like, oh, that sounds horrible. I'm really sorry, bro. I'm such a dick.
I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Like, yeah, I slept weird, so I gotta take another nap to
Yeah.
make up for that one.
Jesus.
I don't mind working 10-hour days.
No,
The 10-hour days
they're
aren't
not
bad.
Man.
I can't wait for the day that I get my disability to 100%. That's what I'm. That's when you bring the fat checks.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That almost $4,000 a month just for.
How
being
is that
fucked up.
going? Because I know you're working on it.
I'm at 80% right now.
Mhm.
I still have to put in for. I have to re-put in for tinnitus because now that they changed the rating system for hearing loss and tinnitus, I had to re-put in for that. And then I had to put in for my sleep apnea.
Did you hear?
And then
There's
that
a-
should get. I only got to get to 95.
Yeah,
All I
your
gotta get to
total real
95.
percentage
Once I
is
get to
95.
they
to
round
up to 100.
Yeah. Did you?
Yep.
Mine
Once I
is
get to 95, it'll go to 100.
87 or 88, so I'm at 90.
Mm.
But I mean, for hearing
Right.
loss, for example, there is a documented difference, and this is a 6-month span from the start of my artillery bolic
Mhm.
to the end of my artillery bolic. When I got to Oklahoma and when I left Oklahoma, noticeable difference in scores. But my
Yeah.
recent tests, they said that I was still within the threshold for, like, you have to have both the higher frequencies and the lower frequencies, something like that you're not able to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm missing more of the high frequencies, but they said that I'm still within a reasonable range on the lower frequencies. And I'm like, I'll tell you right now, I can't hear shit. I hardly heard that you just told me that.
Yeah.
But okay.
Wait, hold on. What'd
Which
you
is
say?
precisely why my headset is cranked up and you could be in my kitchen and hear what someone says to me. I hear it. What's normal? This is normal for me. This is a reasonable volume.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go back in for my. She said when I did my test, they said I had normal
hearing loss.
Yeah. What the fuck
The
is
fuck
normal,
is normal
hearing loss? Well, given your occupation,
I thought normal was no hearing loss.
You have
Normal
normal
should
hearing
be
loss. No worries. It's normal.
not losing your hearing.
Right. Right.
Like,
That's why I was just
normal
like,
hearing loss.
what? So I asked my doctor because when I got the results back and everything, she's like, "Yeah," she said, "Was it like normal hearing loss?" I was like, "Oh, so standing behind a B1 while it's running APUs and shit does not constitute as losing your hearing." No. Good to know.
Okay. My claim is because I was working at Walmart distribution center at the time when I was going through my disability claims. They tried to ask me a bunch of questions about the environment there, right? How loud it is because it's more or less a factory or industrial setting. And I was like, no, they're battery operated, and we actually have to, like, there's rules, there's policies for how much you have to, like, honk your horn and stuff when you're using a forklift. All of our machines are so quiet that you have to use your horn all the time so people know you're coming. I was like, no, it's actually insanely quiet, and it's even worse for me because I already can't fucking hear.
Right. Like we had, all of our forklifts.
You ever ride
when
a
I was on base,
motorcycle?
all of our forklifts were battery operated.
Do you wear a helmet? Of course I do. With noise canceling speakers. You ever go to the gun range? Do you like shooting firearms? Yeah, I do. I wear 2 sets of hearing probe. With hearing loss, I still have in-ear and over-ear, both.
And muffs, yeah.
Next question, please, because you're not gonna find a way where I'm making decisions that have affected my hearing.
Yeah, right. When I worked fiberglassing, they every like 6 months, it was like every 3 to 6 months they would have us do a hearing test. And they're basically like, and legit, they had these professionals and everything come out to do this whole hearing test, make you fill out this long form about have you shot guns recently and stuff like that. And we work in a manufacturing plant, so we work with a lot of power to us to begin with. And there's just like, and then you go over there, and basically, if you didn't get a certain score, they'll let you go.
No, I got when I had mine, it was like your hearing loss is not service connected, and I was like, how is it not? Explain to me how it's not. Because they didn't ask me that question. They didn't ask me if I like to shoot guns, if I rode motorcycles. They didn't ask me any of that shit. I literally went in, sat down in this really thick walled room. They stuck earplugs in my ears with like speakers in them, whatever. And then she went behind the wall. And in the next 30 minutes, I'm sitting there going,
I fucking hate those speakers.
like, am I hearing things? Or am I hearing
exactly?
things?
And that's what I was gonna say is, anybody, especially in the military, anyone that had to, take semi-regular hearing tests would have to become philosophical to the point of saying, like,
yeah, you're just,
are these
did I hear that?
real sounds, or is this the fabrication of my own? And I'm sitting there just
and you
lost.
have the buttons, you're like,
I think that
everybody holds those buttons up like this too. They're like,
right.
Well, I'm not military. I'm not military, and I fucking hate those tests because you're just sitting like the noise. Some of the noises are so random and faint that it's like, was that my head?
yeah, it's like you're thinking it because it's like it's been a few minutes. I haven't heard anything.
And then also you just hear the.
Or did I hear something and then it wasn't there? Or was it there and I just didn't hear it? And then you hear it and you go, oh, that one. Just like,
there was one that was blatantly obvious though, because it was legit a full-ass train going by and was like, what the fuck?
oh, mine was like, this one was speaking.
Yeah.
They had like voices and they would
Oh,
say
mine was
words.
not words.
And then they would have like a crowded area, and then you have to say like if you could hear the
Mine
words
was-
or not. And
Most
I'm
of
just
mine
like,
was like
yeah, I
most
guess.
of mine were like different pitches of beeping. So it'd be a smaller beep, louder beep, medium beep. Sometimes it'll be like this very, very faint beep that you think is just your fucking head.
yeah, that's the one that troubled me was the
Mhm.
faint ones.
Because I've already been
I just-
suspected to have tendinitis. So like those very faint ones when it was like
Yeah.
My favorite part of the last time I took
my
a hearing test was, not only am I just like hyper focused to try and, make sure I hear stuff, and I'm like, please just like do better. But I'm like, come on, you can do it, because I'm in this soundproof box, and then out of nowhere it goes, "Hoo."
You're like,
Ah.
oh, I think I pressed it too many times. Sir, stop pressing the button. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, that was my tinnitus. That wasn't a tone
sorry,
you
that
put
was-
out. Oh
that was-
well, fuck.
Yeah, it turns out when the test was over,
I'm constantly hearing it.
they said I put more presses in than there were sounds. I was like, sorry, you guys are weird with your testing.
I hate the fucking hearing test. Have you ever had your lungs tested?
Which one?
Like
I've had
the
respirator
output
tests.
capacity.
Like where you sit in a box and they plug in, they give you a hose to
yep,
breathe in and
I
out
have-
of, and you have to blow it
Yes,
super
yeah,
hard
okay.
and then suck in
For
super
my
hard.
asthma, I had to do it for
Bro.
my asthma.
That shit makes you want to pass the
does.
fuck out. Because they're like, keep blowing, keep blowing. There's nothing left to blow.
Keep going. And I'm like, eh.
You're at the bottom and you're just like,
Yeah.
there's nothing left.
Oh, but no.
You said to do my best,
I
and
had
it
to
still
do
wasn't
that.
enough.
Yeah, I had to do that, and I swear I thought I was
I
gonna pass
hated
out.
Reddit.
Because it was like suck in real hard. And I was like, like,
I
okay, hold it.
I don't know what it is, but
I don't want to hold
I
it.
hated
no more.
respirator testing because I
that
hated
was-
respirator
That
testing.
was horrible. Like, 'cause I smoked for a long
Mhm.
time. Like, I quit smoking in 2010, and after we were all said and done, he was like, "Your lung capacity is perfect." I was
How's
like,
that
"How can that be?"
possible?
Like, what are you talking about? I was like, "Dude, I smoked for like 20 years." He was like, "Well, according to this test, it doesn't even look like you smoked at all." Fuck.
Ah,
I can't even die of
like,
cancer.
fuck, I need to
Right?
smoke more.
I was like, that's fucking crazy because I smoked for like since I was like 15.
Well, you
And he was
smoked
just
the
like,
longest.
really?
The
I
longest
was like,
I've known
yeah.
you, I've always known you as a smoker.
I mean, I stopped smoking back in
Well, not
2010.
I mean vaping, not smoking. Vaping.
Yeah, I did vape. I stopped vaping too.
When did you stop vaping? Last year.
Last
Okay.
early last year, late
I'll say,
2020.
I just know I've known you for about 3 years now, or something like that. 3, 4.
Yeah, because I was just vaping CBD. So
Oh, it was on a CBD. Okay.
yeah, I wasn't. Doing
Okay.
anything. Vaping wasn't a thing when I started
Or
smoking.
true.
So.
That this is true. At 15,
Or when I stopped smoking, I
let's
should
say
say.
at 15, they didn't have those batteries that they even operate those vapes.
No. What's really funny is like I talked to my grandmother recently before she died. I talked to my grandmother and we were just talking about like old times when I lived with her for a while. And she come up with one day. She goes, it's like, I know you were smoking when you lived here when you were young.
Grandma.
And I was like, what are you talking about, Grandma? No, we did smoke when I was living with you. She's like, you used to steal my cigarettes out of the freezer.
Oh, the freezer?
I'm like, no, I didn't. I never did that shit. And of course I was stealing her fucking packs of cigarettes out of her cartons. And she was like, I'm not stupid. I know how many packs of cigarettes come in a carton. And every once in a while, there'd be one missing. And my grandma was cool as fuck. She didn't say nothing. Nobody.
Gee.
She never said a word. Yeah, she was a fucking G for real. Like, she didn't say shit to nobody. And I was just like, yeah, every once in a while we'd steal a pack
Just
of
that,
cigarettes.
like, that eye contact,
smoking.
no words. Like,
yeah.
You're
she
a real
didn't
one,
say shit. And I
Grandma.
was like, dang, Grandma. I was like, you could have got us busted
Nowadays,
for real.
someone would lose their fucking shit with how expensive they are.
That too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Of course, we also got busted with like fucking 30 duty magazines. Me and my cousin Chris trying to sneak them through the house. We thought we was slick as shit. We had them in our fucking jacket. Had our jacket zipped up, our jacket stuck out like this far. And we just went walking through the house. Let them
Nothing
go
at
out here.
all.
And they're like, my cousin gets through first, and they stop talking. Like, they're all talking. He just kind of walks through like nothing's going on, goes back to the bedroom, and all of a sudden it was quiet. And then I started walking through, and they're like, whoa. Come here, both of you. What?
Hit the brakes.
What? Yeah. I'm like, come here. I'm like, what? Like, what's on your jacket? Nothing?
This is all me.
We're like 12. Yeah, we were young. We were like 11, 12. Like, nothing. It's cold, so we put jackets on. Like, okay. They just grab the zippers, like, zip, and just fucking, just magazines. Where'd you get those? We found them. And then they hid them in my grandmother's room. And the reason I know that is because we went and found them, took them back, and Grandma didn't say shit about that either. Telling you, man, my grandma was cool as fuck. She didn't give a shit.
Damn, she did not give a shit at all.
She didn't care. There was like some pretty bad magazines in there. There was like the old school fucking Hustlers and shit, Cherry and Playboys and all kinds of stupid shit. Dude, just dumb.
My grandmother would have flipped her shit about the cigarettes.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting away with it because she didn't say nothing. We never got in trouble for it. I thought we was getting away with it. Apparently, we were.
Grandma's radar the whole time.
Grandma's just like,
100%.
I don't give a fuck.
No, she didn't care. Well, our whole family smoked, so it was inevitable. And it was like she was more the mindset like, I can't tell you no because I'm sitting here lighting up a fucking cigarette in front of you. Yeah, I can't be saying no, you can't do that while I'm fucking huffing on a fucking cigarette.
Our family is.
And so she was Yeah. Yeah, my whole entire family smoked. My dad smoked, my fucking uncles, my aunts, they all smoked.
Yeah, their mid exhale, smoke is coming out while they're berating you. But like, how could you possibly?
You shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Coughing up
What
a
the
lung
hell
afterwards.
were you thinking?
Yeah.
Lecturing about cigarettes as you're smoking a cigarette.
If I ever catch you smoking, son.
Dad, you wanna?
You're gonna what?
Dad,
Off on me? Is that what you're gonna?
Dad, you wanna try that again without your immense smoker's cough in the middle of it?
Yeah. Hold on. Here's your lung.
You drop this.
Oh, we just stupid kids. Did dumb shit.
I didn't really get
All
away
of us
with
knew we
stuff.
were going in the military at some
I
point.
didn't really get away with stuff. Dad's a Marine, and
he did it better and didn't get away with it.
He's a fucking narc.
I got away with things my parents didn't.
We
so
we got away with some stuff. We didn't get away with everything.
my parents just didn't care.
And that's like my kids they try to get away with shit. Well, they used to when they were younger. And I'm like, what is this? You didn't even try to get away with it.
There's no effort there.
You didn't even hide it. There's no effort here. Put some effort into it. At least try to hide it. At least lie to me. Say you didn't do it.
It's like, I'm not even disappointed that you were trying to go behind my back. I'm disappointed that you put no effort into it. That's just disrespectful at that point.
Like, you didn't even confirm this with your friends. Yeah, you're not staying over at Jill's house. I called Jill's house. We're like, we don't know anything about it. So you're supposed to call your friends and be like, hey, parents call. I'm staying over at your house.
Right.
That's what friends are for. That's what I did.
Help me. It's my bullshit. It's your bullshit.
My bullshit. It's your bullshit. And your bullshit is my bullshit.
I'm back's against the wall. This is not a test. It's the real deal.
You got the drop on us.
So what was it like having a Marine as a father?
It sure was.
That's pretty. I have a feeling it was fairly strict.
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
I only know that because my cousins had.
I mean, even something as simple as making sure your fucking rack is squared away. When I went to basic training, chump change. Chump change.
Issues. It's like, oh, this is how y'all do it? Shit, this is easy. I should have seen my house.
At that point, I was like, I got 23 years of this shit behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also the one that, even though my shit was fucking cleared up, my entire rack got tossed one time.
Oh,
that one I was like, that wasn't even me.
I remember when they tossed ours. Because I had my shit. We had I slept in the bunk beds with there was 6 other guys that were all in the bunk beds, and we were we had our shit squared. We weren't about to get in trouble because our beds were the biggest. They stand out, so we're like, no, fuck that. We're not getting in trouble for anything. So we made sure our shit was squared away. And our TI came in, and one guy was using the blousing straps to hold his bed sheets and blanket tight because that was the cheater way to do it.
We had those ones too.
Yeah, and he was the only one that did that, and the TI goes right to his fucking bunk. He didn't know about the blousing straps. He was just pissed off, and he was going to go toss a bunk.
Then when he tossed it, it didn't come apart because it was...
He grabbed those fucking sheets, and he ripped them things up like this, and they went, swat! He just stood like this, like, what the fuck is that? Flipped it over, the blousing straps were connected. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he flipped it. Everybody's shit got fucked up. And I'm like,
no.
We're all, everybody just like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was kind of funny because he wasn't expecting it, and so when he just grabbed a hold of it and he raised him above his head and then let him go, and they just went straight back down. You see the steam coming out of his ears and shit. Like it was like he was that mad. I was like, bro, you said not to do that. And then a lot of people got in trouble because they used the dog tag rings underneath the bedpost so they wouldn't move. You're not supposed to do that either. So now he's like flipping beds and finding all these fucking dog tag rings all over the place. He just made it even more mad. We're like, fuck. He just walked over to ours and just went. Just pushed him over like dominoes.
So, like I said, there was one time that my shit got tossed when it was perfectly fine. I will share a story that I was the one that got everybody fucked at 3:00 in the morning because I was on fire.
No.
And the guy that was with me said he had to go to the bathroom, and what he did was he went to a stall and went to sleep. All right, so I was at the desk by myself, and I was doing a couple things at the same time. One, I was trying to call out to him to get his attention because I wasn't going to walk all the way across the bay to go into the bathroom to get him. So I was trying to like, Howard!
Well, yeah, because if you leave, now you're abandoning your post because there's nobody there.
Yep.
So that's you're fucked if you do. You're fucked if you don't.
So alphabetically, I'm up at the front anyway, and I was 3 strides away from the desk. I opened my locker. I can't remember what I was gonna get, but I opened my Foot Locker, and we have automatic lights, right? Like sensor, light on. So I'm 3 strides away from the desk, and my peripheral, I see the light go on. By the time I can pucker and take 1 step, also a no-no, my weapon was leaned against. I wasn't holding it while I was like, see, I said I didn't have my weapon. You were like, you're fucked. You were right about that.
So, that's where you just stop, turn around, stand at attention, just wait for it to happen.
And no matter how many times I think this over, it is physically impossible for them to have gotten in the door as fast as they fucking did from when that light came on. Because the light is... Oh, my God. The light is 15 feet away from the door. And the sensor would have gone off when they were 15 feet away from that. Around a corner.
Right.
Yeah.
How could they cover 35 feet? Because it's another 5 feet in the door to get to the desk. How could they cover 35 feet before I can take 3 steps?
This fucker sprint his way to you.
So
they were on
pissed off
some shit. They wanted to find somebody.
That's a pissed off the
pissed off the us? When? Where? Those don't exist. But
they're never happy.
But I mean, just like that was one of my
they were looking
shit myself moments. Was I took 1 step by the time he came in, he grabs my weapon because he saw it. He grabs it, just shakes his head at me, takes a step back, and flips the lights on. Everybody out of here! Fuck! I'm like, oh no. So when everyone told the line, like I said, my Foot Locker was open.
Well, you just fucked up bad.
So,
like inadvertently, like you were just doing some mundane bullshit.
Like
and not even realizing.
I was Gomer Pyle. Watch everyone get the dog shit smoked out of them while I stand there.
Yep.
That's what they did to me. They had everybody doing push-ups and shit. And they're asking me like, are these sufficient quality push-ups? And I was like, yes, Rosarni, don't you fucking lie to me. And I was like, what am I supposed to? There is no right answer. There's no right answer.
No.
But then they talk my shit.
If you said yes, they are.
He's smoking the dog shit out of everyone. And the other one's going around and he's like, well, what do we have here? Whips my shit open and just everything everywhere. I had money stolen. I had a boar snake stolen. My Bible that my mother gave me was damaged. So when one of my drills came in later on in the morning, all right, after PT, before we go to breakfast chow, or after breakfast chow, rather, it was before lunch.
Yeah.
One of my drills came in and he's talking to me, kind of a joking sense, right? Now, all of my drills were infantry and they were skull fuckers. Like they were cool dudes, and I had the best relationship with them by the end. But
Right.
he comes in, he's giving me shit, saying like, "Hey, what the hell happened, man?" And I was just distraught. I was like, I'm not making accusations. I'm not saying anything any type of way. But have you ever heard of drills tossing someone's shit and stuff going missing? Because like I was there. I wasn't away for
Right.
someone to be at a point where they could have taken my shit. I was like, I'm not accusing drills. I'm not trying to get fucking stabbed here. But
Right.
I told him it's not about the money. It's not about the boar snake. I'll make more money. I'll buy a new boar snake.
Right.
What bothered me was my Bible. My mother gave me that.
Right.
Right. That I can't replace. That meant the most to me.
Yeah.
By the time I got to lunch chow, my senior came in. The first sergeant came in. The company commander came in.
Oh.
And when I went through the chow line, before I even sat down, my senior's like, "Hey, man, come here." So I'm like, "Fuck, what now, man?" And then he asked me what happened. I told him what happened. I took full ownership of what I did. I said, I know that I abandoned my post. My shit was open.
Right.
Like I owned up to all of it.
Right.
And by the end of the day, senior and first sergeant came to me and said that those two drills, this went all the way through battalion, by the end of the day, that these two drills were no longer allowed to step on our company footprint.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit. And I mean, there was going to be an investigation and all this crazy shit. And I was like, I just wanted my Bible.
I just want my Bible, man.
I mean, I had it, but it was like stomped on and shit. And I was
Right.
like, who fucking does that?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I was the one
That's
that was
crazy.
Gomer Pyle as fuck and got everybody hazed to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like their lives.
That's pretty fucked up though. Like we got our shit tossed, but nothing was like ever went missing or damaged or anything like that. So
yeah, it started with my drill giving me
like
shit.
if somebody had their shit, like if there was somebody left their shit open and we were off doing something, yeah, the TIs would come in and take their shit out and then lock it. That way there when you came back, you couldn't just be like, oh shit, I left my shit unlocked and lock it back up. They were like, where's all my shit? And the TI is like right there just waiting. It's just like, where's your stuff?
So yeah, PSA, everyone, Lieutenant Twiks is a fucking idiot.
It's all right.
Note to self: do not leave post and rifle alone. I think he got fucked over just because that one guy was like not there.
Yeah.
I think had the other guy been there at the,
well, that's the best part, right? Is like,
yeah,
they had a roster. They know how many people are supposed to be there. Where the fuck is Howard? And they went into the bathroom to wake his ass up. Because I mean, it's not even like it was hard to figure out who was gone. It's like, where's your fucking guy? Where's your partner?
Yeah, where's your
fucking battle? I'm like, I believe he's in the restroom, drill sergeant.
Yeah,
I think he's in the latrine, drill.
So ultimately, I think in my eyes, I think everything came down to him being his fault, but that's not the way they see it because you're the person they saw it. But it is what it is. Builds character, so they say.
And after that, just so that it was a little quicker and easier to make sure my shit was squared away after that, I slept on top of my bunk. And we were told, like, you're not allowed to do that. And I was like, okay.
Right.
I slept on top of my bunk, so it was just a little bit of, like,
too.
tuck and straighten. And then, get my PTs on, go fucking go down. Took no time.
There was one time that the TI was actually nice to me. Because we had like one key to our personal locks. It was around our necks. It had to be around our necks at all times. Mine came off while I was sleeping, so I had zero control. Like it was just like I was sleeping and it just came off, and the drill came down and he shook me awake. He says, "Airman, airman," and I was like, and I'm like, "Oh fuck me, what I do now?" And he was like, "Get off your bunk." And I was like, got down. He's like, "Your key fell off. Put it back on. Get your ass back in bed." Because he realized like there's no way I just like left it off. It was on the floor.
Like, fuck it.
So like it, yeah, like, fuck this key. But he realized that like I had no control over it. It just somehow it like slipped around my head and just fell onto the floor. So he basically just got me down and said, "Pick it up and get your ass back in bed." But it wasn't nice, but I didn't get smoked for it. So I mean that was kind of cool. Pretty much every other instance of me and a drill sergeant was me getting yelled at for something. So
I got hazed a lot. I was
Especially
made
when
an example out of because I was an officer candidate, and I was cool with it. Because if I was the one getting smoked, it wasn't, this 18 or 19-year-old kid next to me that can hardly hold himself
Yeah.
up because he was feeling some type of way, right? And I'm fine with that. I'll take that.
right. Yeah, I didn't mind the getting smoked because it was like
It
I
sucked,
got yelled
but
at.
I
was
would
at
rather
home, so
take it.
Basically, yeah.
And
Yeah, I didn't mind getting it, especially if I fucked
Yeah.
up. And I'm like that now. Like I'm like that now, and I'm 44 years old now, and I'm like, if my bosses want to come over, like I had the one boss when I worked at Staples.
Mhm.
I was a manager. He comes over, and the district manager comes over, and I was trying to sell some computers or some shit like that. And the lady that was there, she didn't want to buy like all the extra bullshit that you're supposed to sell when you're in retail. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to pressure you into spending money that you don't want to spend. That's kind of a dick move. So my district manager's standing there, he's watching me, and then I make the sale, and and she buys like Office, a couple other things that she needed that you basically can't not have.
Yeah.
And he walks up to me and he's like, "So, what could you have done better?" I don't know. What could I have done better? He's like, no, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about how you could have done better and made that sale. And I was like, well, what would you like me to do better? He's like, no, I want you to like think about it. I was like, tell you what, you tell me what you want me to do, and then I'll do that. He was like, well, I don't want to have to do that to you. Like, you're not having to do anything. Just don't treat me like a child. Be my manager. Tell me what you want me to do, because I'm not going to read your mind, and I'm just going to continue to do what I think is the right thing to do, even though you think it's not the right thing to do.
Right.
Like, well, I just need you to work on it. And from that day forward, he never talked to me again because I was unapproachable.
Sure.
And I was like, no, I don't want to be coached. Don't coach me. Just, you want me to do something? Tell me what you want me to do. And I'll do that. Because that's what, you're my boss. You said to do this. That's what I'm going to do. But they like to do that coaching bullshit. And I'm like, don't fucking
Something
do
that
that.
lives in my head. Something that lives in my head rent free, still to this day, is the lack of give a fuck that my senior had. If he was annoyed, just at all, if he just wasn't having it and someone came up to ask a question, he'd be like, he'd bring him to attention, because they'd be a parade dress. Bring him to attention, he'd be like, about face forward more. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That was the best way to say fuck off I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And he did it several times.
God. That's hilarious. I had one
about face forward more. I'm like, fuck.
We had one guy. I can't remember his fucking name to the life of me. We had one guy, and that song was out on the radio. God Bless America or something like that. The country song. It was out on the radio at the time. That's how old I am. And my TI was listening to it. He turned it up so we could all hear it.
Yeah.
And this one kid, he walks over to him. He's gonna go ask the TI a question. We're like, don't do that. He's like, I gotta ask questions. So he goes over, knocks on the door. We get one knock, and we give a reporting statement. Sir, it's Airman so and so. Court is ordered. I need to ask you a question. Blah, whatever he's gonna do. And I remember my TI's face is like looking at something. He's just, and then instantly just starts going off on this kid because that song's playing. He made him stand at attention with the door closed until the song was over with, and then just went the fuck off. It's like, how dare you come in here and interrupt this song? What the fuck is wrong?
Fucking American.
I was like, told you. I was like, told you not to do it, man. It's like trying to protect you.
Go ahead.
The fuck's wrong with you?
We told you not.
That shit was like, we had like some funny ass times. Yeah, it's like, we told you not to, man. You didn't listen, and you went in there and you fucked up.
Like I said, they made an example out of me because I
around.
was an OC, but then by the end of the cycle,
Yeah.
Like I say, I had the best relationship with my drills, and I was able to ask them questions about real shit to try and prepare, and try and be the best I could be for my guys and gals. And they were super fucking cool with me. But the first half, it's like they had us in the first half.
Well, they have to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have to break you, and it's like that's the thing about basic training. It's just like they have to break that civilian out of you, and I think that's a lot of things that people don't understand is they have to break you down. They have to break you mentally, physically. They have to break you because that's the whole first half of basic training. Is like basically putting you down to like you're just this lower than pond scum, and then the rest of it, the second half, is building you back up, giving you the tools that you need to be in the military, the ideals, the mindset, and the work ethic to be in the military. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They think just going to basic training is this, you're just going to go do some exercises and shit. No, they're going to treat you like dog shit. And they're going to do it for like 4 to 5 weeks. Every single day. And then it switches. You don't know what's happening, but afterwards you can look back and go, motherfucker. Because they're so good at their job. They're so good
at it.
And
I mean, throughout my cycle in my company, there was probably 1 or 2 every week that were, trying to leave, that were trying to put in and get out, that they immediately said, you know what? No. And they couldn't put up with it. One was an officer candidate. He was in my platoon. And this is also someone who went to basic once before a college degree and before trying to do it this way. He tried to go to basic like 5 years prior, and in different circumstances in his personal life, but a similar thing where he had a reason back home and he gave up on it, right? But this one, if I didn't see it, I would have thought he was blowing it out of proportion talking to me about it, because we were friends, we were close. I still would trust him with my life, and I would hope that he'd do the same, have the same trust in me. But if he didn't show me the cards and letters from his wife, I would have thought that he was exaggerating. And I mean, every day he got mail. Every single day he got mail from her.
Jeez.
Oh my
god. But it wasn't
lucky.
No. No.
Was it bad? It was bad shit?
Every single day, which means she was sending it every single day.
Right.
Every single day. Every night, he would have to read a card from his wife. They would talk about how hard things are because they had a little one. They had a daughter, right? And every single night he'd be reading about how hard this is. How could you do this to me? You leave me to take care of all this shit by myself. Every single day. Every single night he'd be reading cards like that.
Well, at that point, what do you expect him to do?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I know what I would have done, but I'm a little colder than some people. because I would have probably just stuck through it.
I also had the perspective at the time because I was engaged and I was saying, if she did that to me, it'd be done. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm doing this to further our life,
to be honest,
to better our status in
probably
life.
back telling the fuck
And
off.
if you're gonna sit there and treat me like shit because I've made a decision to better ourselves, better where we are, then I don't need this kind of negativity. I mean, that's me. Some people don't think that way, and that's fine. Perfectly okay. But I can't imagine having to read something so detrimental from someone that you love, that you have a child with, that you've been married to for however long, basically telling you you're a piece of shit every single day. I mean, for a drill instructor to tell you that, that's one thing. That's their job. From somebody back home saying that shit, that's fucked up. That's your life link.
One of my best friends in basic, this wasn't like an illness. Like his dad was murdered.
Oh,
his dad was killed, and they didn't do a Red Cross message. They told him when we had an opportunity to call home. They told him directly on the phone, right? So then my senior comes in,
right,
and he's like grilling him for bawling his eyes out, not being a real man. You fill in the words, he probably said it,
right,
in pure drill sergeant fashion. So I got a buddy, and which I was fully prepared to be told about phase forward war, but it's kind of funny. But I was fully prepared to be told to fuck off, and I said, just a point of information. Senior drill sergeant, I wanted to let you know that trainee, I'm not going to say his name, but I was saying he was told that his dad was killed. So then it was an entire ordeal of trying to get everything squared away, because it wasn't a Red Cross and they couldn't have had control over the situation. It was being reactive instead of, well, obviously it would have been reactive either way, but reactive because his mom told him herself.
Right.
But he did end up getting a chance to go home real quick, go to his dad's funeral and come back, and just wild shit. But drill sergeant was being drill sergeant, and he went the fuck off trying to grill him on not being a man and couldn't hold his shit.
Yeah. And if they don't know,
they don't know, it's like, well, now I look like an asshole. Thanks, guys. Now
I really look like an asshole, you bastards.
No, I love that, man.
But no, I mean, we've had that shit. I've heard of other stories like that too, where something's happened and then the drill instructors go from being this. It's funny because you watch them like switch it off. Like they go from being this like this hardcore fucking asshole to like, what can we do to help this kid? Like, how can we get this kid to do blah blah blah? And it shows that, because a lot of them have families too. They have kids and stuff. I know mine had kids because he brought them to the barracks one day while he was yelling at us. That's how you know your fucking instructor's a real asshole. Holding his fucking baby in his arm, chewing our asses. Chewing our asses out while his baby's in his arm. Hey, fuckhead! But yeah, I've when I got out of basic training, and then when I reclassed out of signals intelligence into supply, and I went back to Lackland Air Force Base. I was maybe a year out of basic, and it was really kind of a weird feeling being in Lackland Air Force Base, where basic training happens, seeing drill instructors walk around and not having to snap to attention when they walk by you. I caught myself so many times going, oh, I don't have to do that no more. Or feeling my blood get hot when they stand behind me at the class 6.
Yeah.
Because they're standing there and I'm just trying to get like a soda and some crackers or some M&Ms. And this asshole's behind me and I'm going to get in so much trouble. Wait a minute. I'm permanent party now. I don't have to deal with this shit.
I mean, because of my baby face, Yeah, especially being like clean shaven all the time. When I was in Oklahoma, when I was in LT, I lost count of how many times I had drills there because there's basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I lost count of how many times I had drills, whether it was for basic or AIT, because there's AIT there.
Right.
That would like get after me saying, "Where's your fucking battle?" and all this stuff. And I'm like,
I'm permanent party.
Drill Sergeant, I'm not a trainee. I'm not and then they would fucking snap to be like, "Oh, my apologies, sir." And I'm like, fine. I just made me feel like an asshole. Because I'd have to turn around, not go to parade rest. They're expecting this like, oh shit moment. It's like, hey, Drill, I'm not a pry.
That's when you look at him and go.
That's interesting.
That does not look like a chevron to me.
I think I brought this up when I was on the episode. So if you remember me saying it, you can stop me. But to spare the details on the entire story, there was a time right before I left my unit that the sergeant major was just going off on me, right? And when he was done ranting for like 2 minutes straight, I just looked down his feet. I was like, I'm sorry, I must have misheard you, Sergeant Major. Were your heels together?
I remember this one.
The only time I've ever done that was the only time I ever did that to somebody.
I remember that one.
Because if I ever, like, if there was ever someone who knew me, like, that was in my unit that was listening to this and watching this, they could, back me up on the fact that I also didn't expect my soldiers to salute me when we're walking by. I didn't expect them to talk to me some type of way. I wanted to be more personable, and I tried to have a more relaxed and easygoing, environment with them. And there'd be times where they would just like fucking and be like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Oh yeah,
and then be like, "Chief's over there," and I'm like, "Fuck him." So you don't understand. He's gonna. I'm like, all right. If he grills you, I'll grill him. How's that sound? We cool?
Yeah. I don't think like I never. Well, when I was in, it was a different time. Like all the officers, everybody was very hard nosed, very traditional military. And of course, I say that, but then you got some guy that was in before me is like, "Oh, you thought you had it hard," and then some guy before him going saying the same thing. But like when I was in, it was very hard nosed. It was like Army officers were very strict, and Air Force officers very strict. Marines were a different breed.
Marines are still a different breed.
Officer.
I don't think that's
their
changed.
Officers are like they're a whole other category of hard nose. I remember walking back from AIT classes. I was in Arizona. I was there for signals intelligence, and we were just chilling. We had our camelbacks on because we were required to carry water with us because we're in the desert. So we were required to carry water with us. So I just bought a camelback. I'm like, I'm not carrying a fucking water bottle around with me everywhere I go. So I had the camelback on, had my fucking cover on. We're chilling. Me and a couple guys were walking back to the barracks, and this Army officer is coming up towards us. We can clearly see he's like a captain or some shit like that. So we're like, okay, this guy's coming here. Oh, that's awesome. My dog's taking a piss right over here.
Mine's laying on the love seat. He's chilling.
Thank you.
Hi, buddy.
Hold on. Anyway, so we're walking, and this Army officer coming up. He's the captain, and we're getting ready. Prepare yourself. We don't have to stop, but we have to salute. Like afternoon, whatever. So we get up to him. He comes up to us. We salute. He salutes, and we say, "Good afternoon, sir," whatever. And he's like, "First team," and keeps walking. And I've never found out what that meant. I have no fucking clue what first team means. That's what he said to us as he kept walking.
Have you tried Googling it? Oh, yeah.
I've looked it up, and I have no fucking idea what that fucking means. Because he literally, he first team, and kept walking. I'm like,
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
what the fuck did you just say to me? I don't. So if you can enlighten me on what that means, that would be fantastic.
It depends what unit he was
I
in,
don't
I
have a fucking
guess,
clue.
because that would have been a unit model thing. That wouldn't have been. I don't know.
First
Like, I could look like a
Like,
total
I've
idiot
never
to the
heard
army right
anybody-
now, and that's totally fine. But I have no idea who.
I didn't know. I mean, I was Air Force, so I was like, you know, it's obvious what my
Right.
rank was. It was on my fucking
Mhm.
sleeve. So it was like, he said that, and we all looked at each other like, what is first? What's first?
But like when I got to
Like, I don't know.
when
what
I
that
got to
means.
Oklahoma, I think I got there. God, whatever this was, it would have been like I got there October 2nd or 3rd, and I couldn't move into my apartment until the 5th. Right, so I spent a couple days in the hotel. I mean, like the day I got there, and I go to the hotel. This guy that was in an airborne unit, Maroon Beret, easy giveaway. But this guy that's in an airborne unit walked past me and says, you know, all the way when he saluted me. Said all the way. And I was still, you know, I was 6 months into the army at that point, and I knew nothing.
Yeah.
I still know nothing. I don't claim to know everything. But I knew nothing, and he
All
was
the
like,
way.
all the way, sir. And I was like, what's up?
All the way.
But it's the return is the return's supposed to be like and then some. Something like that. Never knew that. Yeah, it's all the way and
Really?
then some. And I was
Okay.
like, okay. Because I looked into it. That's how I am. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I pull out my
Right.
phone and I Google this shit. And I was like, oh. Well, now I know.
Yeah, I don't see. I googled it. He saluted me, said first team. I have no idea what the fuck
Someone
that
walks
means.
by me and this is all the way out. The first thing I think of is like some Viking chant, like "Hoorah!"
Right.
I'm actually looking it up right now, see if I can find out what it means.
Let's see. Can you find it, Pool? Not fucking K. I don't know why I called you Pool.
Have you guys ever seen the video? This went kind of viral, but have you ever seen the video of the kid that pulled up to post in a fire truck? He bought
Yeah.
a used fire truck, right? That was at JBLM. That was at Lewis McCord.
Jesus Christ.
Just before I got there. So I was like, no shit. And it
You
didn't
missed
click
it.
until the first time I come up to the gate and they said, welcome to America's Joint Base. And I was like, where have I heard that before? Oh,
It doesn't say anything. It must have been a like you said, it must have
like a
been
unit thing. Yeah.
Italian thing or
I don't
something.
know.
A unit or something, yeah. I don't know. It confused the
team.
fuck out of us. First team.
I also did what I call a lieutenant colonel
Yeah.
salute. That
Yeah.
was just like straight up and down. When I walk past
was-
people,
yeah.
it's here. And I might have mentioned this on the first time I
Yeah.
was on too, but I had, you know, when I was working with observers, I love these kids to death. I would have done anything for them, but and it never stopped either. It's not like they were, you know, giving me shit for a bit and then it died off. They did this the entirety of the time that I was there. Was if there were like 5 or 6 of them walking somewhere and they saw me, they would split so they were 7 or 8 paces apart from each other, so that I had to salute every single one of them.
Oh, so you had to salute each one of them? Yeah. Oh my god. That's kind of a dick move. It's funny.
Fucking clowns. But at the same time, that's one of the reasons that I love them so much. Because we could have
Hey,
fun like
did
that.
your drill instructor have like did your drill instructors have the taps on their fucking shoes? Or their boots?
No.
Fuck, ours did.
Sheesh.
Yeah. You wanna make someone's fucking heart drop. All of a sudden you hear this click, 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 and you hear the regular steps like click, click, click. And then you hear them like somebody's in trouble. It's like click, 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 click. You know somebody's about to get their ass chewed. I don't know if you didn't hear the story about when I had to I know Rex has heard it when I had to go get food for everybody because we missed chow hall that one day. We were at the rifle range and the buses forgot to come pick us up. So we, like our squadron, we were doing drills because we're like, fuck this. Somebody's gonna come, and they're gonna find somebody fucking around, and they're gonna be in trouble. So we took it upon ourselves to do like marching drills and shit like that until this time we got there. Well, we got back into the base, we're back to the barracks, and the chow hall's closed. So we didn't eat that night. We didn't get to. The last time we ate was like 11 o'clock in the morning. And so we're like, fuck. And we're doing our shit in the dorms and, making sure everything's clean, make sure everything's dusted, folding shit and ironing shit and, making sure the barracks are straightened out. And then we're like, fuck, dude, we're hungry. We haven't eaten like all day. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. And like, okay, well, there's vending machines downstairs. We all had a little bit of dollar bill. We had a couple dollars with us. So we're like, well, what if somebody goes downstairs and gets some stuff out of the vending machine? And they're like, well, who's going to go? Because, like, if you get caught, if you ain't supposed to be out your barracks, definitely ain't supposed to be eating shit out of the fucking vending machines. And so we drew straws. We literally grabbed some straws off the fucking broom, and I drew the short straw. And I was just like, fuck. So everybody gives me like change, and I have like $20 in change from everybody. And it's like, all right, wish me luck, because the TIs are always walking around. Like there's always one somewhere. And our shithead TIs had this fucking cardboard cutout of one that was just like they would place randomly,
scare the shit out of you,
just to scare the fuck out of you. And you had to salute it, because if you did, oh yeah, you had to salute it. If you didn't salute it and you got caught, you got in trouble.
Great.
And so we were on the way the Air Force barracks when I was there, there were 2 floors. There was 4 barracks per building, and there were 2 floors. We were on the 2nd floor, the furthest away from the vending machine. It was next to the building, but we were the furthest away. I was like, fuck. So, yeah. So I go out there with my socks on, because I'm like, my feet will make pitter-patter noises. My boots will make boot noises. So I'm going out there with my socks on. So I go out there with my socks on so you can't hear shit. So I go all the way down the stairs, and I'm like fucking like Mission Impossible this shit. Like I'm searching the corners. I'm waiting. I'd run to another pillar. Look. And I'd run over there. And I get to the vending machine. This is the same spot where they do the laundry. We had our laundry, where our wash machines were. Only problem was that the building with the laundry was here. The vending machine was here. So there's a space right there. Like I couldn't just stand there and pop money into the machine. I'd have to put money in the machine, press a button, and then back off. Because as the money is going down in the machine, it's the loudest fucking thing on the planet in the middle of the night when you're not supposed to be out there. And then you push the button, and then that stupid mechanism in there that's going is also the loudest thing in the fucking world when you're not supposed to be out there. So for $20 fucking and a list of what they wanted, I'm popping shit in this fucking machine. Beep, 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 beep. I'm just
no one bother.
Yeah. And I finally get done, and I'm out there probably a good 10, 15 minutes, just popping quarters in this machine, dollar bills and shit. And I fill up this little bag that we had to carry around with us full of just shit, like candy bars, chips, whatever the fuck. And then I had to sneak all the way back up the stairs, and I lightly knocked on the door. And they're like, give us your blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let me the fuck in.
You son of bitches.
Because you thought it was a TI. And I'm like, let me in the goddamn door. And they let me in, and my heart's fucking beating out of my chest. And they're like, did you get everything? I was like, yeah. And I was like, dude, I wouldn't have done that. Like, all the people that drew straws were like, I wouldn't have done that. I just want the better. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you. But yeah, we got to eat. And then we just, we piled all the shit in the trash can. We like scarfed everything down, piled all the trash in the trash can, and then the guy that does the trash, he's the only one that's allowed to be out at night because he has to take the trash out. So he took the trash out, dumped the trash, and we never got caught. But I was fucking scared.
All right,
I would have been full pucker the entire time.
we are going to need to start wrapping this up because we are 15 minutes over.
Yeah, I was full pucker the whole time. Because I would like put the money in and I would scoot up next to the laundry room wall and just wait for it to hit the bottom and then wait and then go back and pop some more shit in there, grab that thing, go sit the wall. I had no contingency plan if I got caught.
Yeah.
It was more of a I was hungry.
So, I mean,
because I wouldn't have ratted anybody out. I wouldn't have said shit about anybody. I'd have taken the hit.
I don't remember if I talked about this. Could I share just one thing, trying to be quick?
Yeah, you can.
There's two reasons. One is just a testament to the Corps because they are a different breed. A lot of them. Marines, you'll hear it from me. Y'all are a different breed, and you have the utmost respect for me.
Yeah. You haven't met Rogue Marines yet, have you?
But the other side of it, not just to say that, but the other side of it is just, I guess, to give more testament to where I was as an officer was shortly after being in Oklahoma. We were coming up on the Marine Corps birthday, right? So we went to do an M4 range, got back at like 1930, maybe 1900. We're putting our weapons away in the armory, and our armory was in the basement of this footprint for Marine Cannoneers barracks. These Marine Cannoneers in their like cannon school, right? Our armory was in their basement. So an entire company of Army lieutenants just look like a bag of smashed ass. We're dirty, we're smelly, we're tired. Are leaving this armory, passing a bunch of Marines in their dress uniforms with their wives, husbands, parents, something, girlfriends, whoever. Right? And they are just fucking flawless. They looked amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And me, looking like an absolute bag of smashed ass, the polar opposite, when they're with their families, are addressing me. And I'm like, no, hold on. No, not tonight, not tonight.
Whoa.
Tonight's you. Let me go. I'm not here. I took my rank off my chest. I was like, fuck this, man. That made me feel so bad because I was like, no, this is your night. Look at you. Damn.
Yeah. You are like, this is you right here. This is me right here. Way down here.
I was like, no shot.
This is you.
Not tonight. I was like, not tonight. No, and I ripped my rank off my chest.
Fuck that.
No.
Still leave me today, you fuckers.
And I walked to my truck in absolute shame. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. When you get a bunch of Marines that are dressed like that. Yeah, when you get a bunch of Marines dressed to the nines and they're fucking dress blues and shit, it's a sight because they're
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a sight to be seen. I had the best time in Arizona with the Marines. Those guys can fucking drink. Jesus Christ. Best time. But apparently, I got to go clean
shout
up
out Marines. You got my vouch.
Yeah, that's your one.
Everybody gets one.
All right, we're gonna range to depth today, just because. All right, guys, this is
Oh, Dev.
All right, guys, this has been the Asylum Arms. We'll be back tomorrow. With back. Yeah, remember we're doing an episode.
Oh, that's right. You're doing a week-long thing.
So yeah, we'll be back.
Are you doing when are you doing the first responders?
Those will be starting. We'll start transitioning them after this week. We'll start trying to set some of them up. Obviously, the first one will be a medic.
Yeah, one-hand medic. I have to let me know because I'll talk to him. I'll text him. But
yeah, those.
I'm main. Well, Twiks, is good to talk to you finally. Actually, talk to you, not just type at you.
And thanks again for having me back.
No problem, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Did you raid out already?
I started the raid.
All right, guys. I'll
Good
see
night,
y'all
guys.
later.
Have a good night. I'm gonna get off too. So have a good night, Twiks.
Have a good night, man.